Hello and welcome to this video. This video is about my journey in learning about the Japanese flute Hitoyogiri. It's a predecessor to the Japanese flute shakuhachi. And I learned about it and thought, wow, that's interesting. I want to learn more about that. And so I went to I searched it on YouTube like I am commonly found doing if I want to learn about something. And then this YouTube channel came up, Hon-on, Hon-on. And so that was exciting to find that because it's a great resource if you're interested in the Hitoyogiri or Edo period style shakuhachi, which is kind of a cool niche inside of the shakuhachi world. Anyway, the guy who runs that channel, Nick Belando, I guess, sorry if I said that wrong, translated this book. I think I mentioned it in a previous video, I can't remember, but it's a book from 1805, I think, and it has scores and other information about the Hitoyogiri from somebody at that time who saw that the Hitoyogiri was going out of fashion and kind of wanted to preserve it. So I got this book, so that was exciting. Before I did, I found a YouTube channel in Japanese that kind of showed the dimensions of a Hitoyogiri and where to put the holes and stuff. And I copied, there was a photograph, I don't really understand Japanese very well, but there was a diagram of the sizes and so forth. And so I copied that onto here. And I tried to make one like that, but for one, this bore size, it didn't have units of measurement. So I didn't know, is that millimeters? Is that centimeters? Whatever. So obviously the bore size isn't centimeters, because 26, it's 2.4 centimeters, but if that was 24 centimeters, that's enormous. But even 2.4 is big according to the videos I've been watching on Hon-on channel, the place where I bought this book. He also has a web page. Anyway, that's where I bought the book. He recommends a good size for the bore being 1.7 centimeters. So anyway, once I looked this up, I wrote it out and tried it. I have it just for reference, but I don't use it. So I contacted him through his website, or my wife helped me do it. Anyway, he helped me kind of figure out where the hole should be. Also, on one of his videos, what I did was I just took a tuner tuner app that I have on my phone and held it up to the computer and listened to the notes he played, so then I could know the general notes that I'm supposed to make the holes. And it turns out that the Hitoyogiri isn't tuned super regularly or precisely. I think I mentioned this in another video. It's tuned more according to hole spacing and size than a precise concept of tuning that we have in Western music. So my first attempt, I don't think I showed you any of this. I don't think I included it. Anyway, was this out of a piece of PVC pipe. So the pipe was a little bit long, the note was a little bit low, so I widened this to raise the pitch a bit. Also, one distinct characteristic of a Hitoyogiri is this part here is a very shallow, it's really hard to see. Anyway, it's a very shallow angle and a shallow groove. There, that's a little better. Compared to the shakuhachi, which here's another PVC one, but see how steep that is, and see how much bigger, deeper that U goes. Anyway, so I made this one. The holes aren't the same size. I was trying to make it to these precise notes, which are weren't what it was supposed to be anyway. So for example, this second hole I made to the note C, and it's supposed to be a little bit flatter than that, but it's kind of hard to play, but I'll try. Well, anyway, it's kind of hard to play, like I said. The other thing about this is the bore size is a little small. So I came up with this idea of taking a piece of thick cardstock, i.e. cereal box paper, and I get it damp and wrap it around a mandrel, like in this case a pipe, and then wrap it tightly with string. And then I can do a couple layers of that, and you get something like this. Which there, inside there, you can kind of see the cereal box. Then I took a toothbrush and stuck it onto a bamboo skewer, and then I used that to coat the inside with a lacquer. So originally this was the size that I was using for the bore, but this is a little bit big that I learned from watching the Hon-on YouTube channel. So I'm going to try one that's a little smaller, which is this pipe. Anyway, I learned that with PVC you can kind of flex the pipe once this is wrapped around it to get it off. Well, something like metal, or I tried it with wood, it can get stuck on there. So I've learned to wrap it with plastic wrap. And that helps it come off. So, first I made this one, and so the thumb hole is supposed to be an octave above the fundamental, or like the root note, the lowest note you can play. Fundamental, I don't know if that's the right word. That's usually used in chords, I think. Anyway, the lowest note, this is supposed to be an octave above the lowest note. And so this tape, or this paper here, is me moving and filling holes. So I put a hole here, here, and there, and then eventually put one there to try to get it right. So that when I decided to put the holes here on this one, they would be in the right place. I wouldn't have to move them around so much, so it would look nicer like this. See, eventually I'm going to make one in bamboo, but this is really good practice material, at least for me. This one I wrapped with 2 cereal boxes, and this one with just 1. So this one has a thicker wall. So they both are basically the same, but I do like the thicker wall of this one better. Sort of as an aside, there's a fingering where you cover these 3, the one on the thumb hole in the back, but leave this one open, and it's supposed to give you like a harmonic, I think it would be, and you're supposed to play higher. So Normally it would just be like this. So my thumb's covering the back. But then you're supposed to play extra hard to get a higher note. And this one does it, whereas this one didn't. So, I don't know. I'm glad about that. Even though this board is kind of thick. This is, I think just about 2... It's a little over 2 centimeters. And like I said, a good size is, according to the videos I've been watching, 1.7 centimeters. Trying to remember if there's anything else I wanted to say. So I'm gonna try again with this smaller bore. So this is dry under here, and so I'm gonna unwrap it, get this wet, roll it up, rewrap it with the string, and then coat it with lacquer, then put the holes in. I can tell you where I put the holes for this, but if you're interested in more details about Hitoyogiri making, where to put the holes, pitches, everything, that sort of thing, I recommend contacting Nick at Hon-on.com. I think that's what it's called. I'll put a link to it in the description. Anyway, because he knows way more than me, and he'd be a much better resource. Anyway, it's been so fun. I've been just kind of like working on it a little bit at a time, almost like baby steps, but I did want to say that with this, it's kind of hard to get a hole in there because it's kind of too soft to use a drill for, unless you have like a really sharp drill. Maybe a drill press would work good. But I've been using an X-Acto blade like this, and then just like slowly cutting the circle, and then as you go down, each layer of that cardboard box pops off, and then you just keep going until you get all the way through, and it makes a pretty clean hole that way. But anytime you use a knife or whatever, be sure that you're being very careful and following all safety recommendations. Anyway, I'll just play, there's sort of like a warm-up tune called Shirabe. It's right here. Tsureri echi throw. It's pretty straightforward, but I'll play that just so that you can hear what this sounds like. I mean, you might think this is dumb or whatever. This might not be your thing, but I took a cereal box, made it into a flute. You know, I could play, I don't know what the real ones feel like. I can't even find one on eBay, but, or play like, but I guess I'm just trying to say, for something that would have been thrown away, I feel like this is pretty cool. Anyway, here we go. Sorry, that was a mistake. Anyway, it's fun. This guy Nick sells real version of these, and I'm sure they're amazing and really cool, but they're $300. So the fact that I could make something that I could play this with, I played along with him on, I mean, he has YouTube videos, and I could play along with the video. I just think that's super cool, and I don't know. That's all. I just want to tell you about that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you consider checking out some of my other videos. And I don't know. That's it. I hope you have a good day too. Bye.